Good morning and welcome to John Beck. This is your principal, Mr. Lin, and I hope that you had a wonderful Wednesday yesterday. Today is Thursday, February 9th, 2023, and it is a day B for instrumentals. It's a day 6. Now, before we kick off this wonderful day, I want to invite you, as I always do, to please stand and face the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Go ahead and take a seat. I'm so happy that you are here in school. It's so amazing to just see the difference between having an empty school with not a lot of energy and children bringing that energy into school. And that energy is so often excitement. I love that you guys are excited for school. And that's amazing. And with that excitement, I also sense respect, wanting to work towards responsibility, wanting to be ready, wanting to show that love, care, and encouragement. Yesterday, I was in a lot of meetings, and yet somehow you kids found a way to share that message with me, and I needed to hear that. I love it. All right, let's jump into our 4 choices for lunch today. Your first choice, your warm lunch is we're going seafood here. Fish shapes with pretzel goldfish. Choice 2 is the cheesy pizza sticks with marinara sauce. Choice 3 is the lunchbox meal for K2, and that's with turkey. And then for 3rd through 6th grade, it's the turkey sandwich meal. And then choice 4 is the sun butter sandwich. Guys, go ahead and make your choice. If you are buying a lunch, choose what you want so that our kitchen can prepare them and so you can get them. Of course, if you're a packer, you're good to go. All right, we've got 3 expectations here at the school. You already know what they are. Be respectful, be responsible, show that you're ready. Yesterday, I had a good opportunity to speak to kids at 2 different bus stops about making sure that even when we're not at physically in the building, in the school, that while you are at the bus stop, that plot of land, that corner, that piece of grass, that sidewalk, wherever you are, actually counts as part of the school, which means respect, responsibility, and readiness. That's a must. Love, care, and encouragement. We got to show that. This is our chance to be out in the community as John Beck kids and make it very obvious that we're John Beck kids. I mean that by showing the best of us, right? From far away, they may not even know your name, but by the way you act, you prove to them that we're John Beck kids because we look out for people. We use helpful words. We use our hands and our feet in helpful ways. Even the way we think is in a way where we don't beat ourselves up and we're not judgy about others, but we find a way to solve problems and to grow. And I see that every single day in school. But when you're out in the community, when you're at the bus stop, I want you to keep showing that as well. I really appreciate talking to the kids at those 2 bus stops. It really made my day when I heard how you guys plan to show that love, care, and encouragement, the respect, responsibility, and readiness every single morning and every single afternoon when you get off the bus. Love it. Keep it up. All right, we don't have any special announcements today, but I do want to move on to our This Day in History. Like I said, today is February 9th, 2023. Back on February 9th, 1674, hundreds of years ago, there was a whole slew of battles over one city that was pretty new at the time. You see, America was settled by, or this part of the United States was settled by the English, certainly. But they weren't the only ones, right? There was a city up north of us that was settled by the Dutch. Back then, they came from the country, the Netherlands, and they were called the Dutch. And although they're a small country now, back then they were a superpower. And they started the city, and they named it New Amsterdam. Amsterdam is actually the name of a really big city in their main country. And when they came over to the Americas and they started a new city, they decided to name this new city after that famous city at home. And they, instead of Amsterdam, they call it New Amsterdam. And anyways, this superpower, the Dutch, went to war for supremacy, right? For ultimate power over parts of the American colonies. And one of the superpowers that they were competing against were the British. And the British, of course, had also set up here in the United States, what is now the United States. Many of us know about the Pilgrims up in Massachusetts, right? Many of us know about the settlement down in Jamestown, Virginia. And as you went up and down the eastern coast of what became our country, this city, New Amsterdam, really stood out. It was not English. It was not British. It belonged to the Dutch. And so they had this huge war. And it was a war that was fought all over the world, right? These big sailing ships with cannons almost looked like pirate fights. And, at first the Dutch won, right? Then there was another war where the British won. And then there was another war again where the British won. And finally, when the British finally won against the Dutch, they said, we want that city up there. That city you call New Amsterdam. We want it. And since you lost, you're going to give it to us. And the Dutch, having lost, said, okay, we'll hand it over to the British. Well, the British, they have a city in England called York. And they decided to rename the city of New Amsterdam for the city of York. Instead of New Amsterdam, they called it New York. New York City. So today, on this day, back in 1674, was the last time the British were able to take what was New Amsterdam, and they officially and for thereafter had it renamed as New York. And since it was a city, they added the word city to it. New York City. New York City, for those of you guys who weren't catching on, used to be named New Amsterdam when it was under the Dutch rule. When the British took over, it became New York City. And then, of course, we know about the revolution. We fought the British and started our own country. And, of course, New York City was part of our land. And we kept it. We kept the name, New York City. And it has stuck ever since. All right. Listen, if nobody else has told you this, I love you. I care about you. I'm here to encourage you. Spread the word. I love it that when you tell me, but I hope it's not just me. I hope you're saying it at home. I hope that you're saying it to your teachers. I hope you're saying it to your friends. I was on the phone with a couple parents yesterday, and a couple of them actually said that their kids are going home and saying love, care, and encouragement. And they're also saying that their kids are trying to show it. I love it. You know who I'm talking about. If you know, I call it home, and I want you to show it in school as well. All right, I can't wait to see you guys around. Have an amazing day.